Everyone, it's Chris Burns from the Heart Center. Today we're going to talk about the spiritual journey versus authentic living. First thing I want to say is that the spiritual path, whatever that is not all rainbows and sunshine. I made a Facebook post the other day about how the Buddha's path was full of turmoil, it's full of heartbreak. He left his family, it's full of bodily torture. It was not about chakras and ascending or even about really raising your vibration as much as it was about getting to the truth and core and authenticness of who he truly was. And through that process, which was a very human process, really just meditating, connecting with people, talking to people, trying different things, just being real about what was going on within him. That's how he found his path to enlightenment. I do believe that there are people here from other realities, and that this physical plane is kind of a galactic melting pot for other beings to come experience a plethora of things. But at the same time, from what I feel and hear in the spiritual community, we're always trying to chase something to become enlightened or to ascend, and really, it's not as much about that as it's about tuning into who you are. That was cool. You see that leaf? Tuning into who you are and what you're here to do. If you continue to chase enlightenment and chase the ascension process, you get caught up in mind loops. And I was actually on a wonderful hike with a friend who does some beautiful work. Her name is Amy Modine, and she has a blog called the New Age Noise blog.com. You can check out our hike on there. It was totally transformative. It was beautiful. We talked about all these concepts. But having said that, this was, a big part of our conversation was the spiritual journey, the spiritual path, and it's not about chasing anything. It's about tuning into who you are and creating life from the heart. So I just feel like this is a really important topic because I feel like a lot of people are getting caught up in the the word that came to me was the Matrix, and the Matrix comes in many different programs. One of them is a spiritual program designed to take people who are awakened and just continue them in that mind loop. I'm here to guide you back to yourself and to really clear away the cobwebs mentally, emotionally, and on some level spiritually, so that you can begin to uncover who you truly are, so that you can really begin to experience the essence of what you are. And from that space is where I believe you can really begin to create the life that you want. And you really connect with your soul heritage, and you really begin to awaken. I don't think that spirituality should be something that is only for people who, know about chakras, or for people who know about the ascension process, or for people who know about aliens. I think at the end of the day, we're all spiritual beings. It's the uncovering of this truth that can lead a person to enlightenment versus a person trying to obtain a status quo in a sense to become enlightened. That doesn't sit well with me. And I found my biggest realizations and revelations have come from simply being still and observing life and looking around me and connecting with people and tuning into who I am. I've done a lot of research, and I've done a lot of meditating, and I have read scriptures, and I have read books, and I have watched documentaries, but all those things really just contradicted themselves, and they all got tangled up, and they pointed to the Pleiadians, then they pointed to the reptilians, then they pointed to the archons, then they pointed to the American government, then they pointed to the devil, and there's nothing really to grasp in there. I believe those are all tools on my spiritual path to help me tune into myself. And those things are, part of the fourth dimension, third dimension. It's just mind noise. the reptilians, the archons, the alien talk, it's all mind noise. I think it's pretty obvious that at this point in time, human beings are not alone. And I think it's pretty obvious that at any given time, you can choose to connect with another being. Um, it's pretty obvious that you need to live a healthy life mentally, physically, and spiritually to simply feel good. So I think what I'm, refining here is just simplifying the path to authenticity. And I want to get away from the feeling of chasing and really trying to obtain something. I believe that we are already what we need to be. And the reason things become so confusing is because we're trying to be something else. And instead of, excuse me, I feel there's a little spider on me, but instead of getting caught up in all the noise, I think it's much more powerful just to breathe, to ask questions, and to really get to know yourself. Now, I'm not dismissing the fact that you don't need to do inner work, because I believe inner work is actually the work you do need to do. So there are steps to cleansing out your vessel and becoming pure and uncovering the false thought patterns within you. I'm not saying that this is all going to happen overnight or to totally ignore the information that you are reading or the books that you're reading. But what I'm saying is that's not the answer. You're not going to find the answer in there. You can truly only find the answer in yourself. So take steps in that direction within yourself, and don't count so much on finding the answers or the path to enlightenment in a scripture or on a YouTube video. First seek within yourself, and then as you align with your true nature, your reality will naturally reflect back to you where you're at. And I believe life becomes a little bit less confusing whenever you try less to obtain and more to tune in. It's more about the tuning in than the gathering of information. The gathering of information is great, but you can't become spiritually evolved through the intellect alone. Your intelligence and that intellect is merely a survival mechanism in a sense that it allows you to stay away from danger. It teaches you to use your discernment, but intelligence is not good enough to continue on your path. Because what we really need to do is be honest with ourselves, uncover our truth, our wisdom, our own inner light, and begin to allow it to shine through us instead of trying to obtain it to shine through us. That's really silly if you ask me. So, I don't want to make this video too long, but I just want to point you back to yourselves, to your heart center. And if you really feel called to tune into yourself and you're not really sure how to do that, but you know that you have mind loops going on and thought patterns that really aren't working out for you and they're self-sabotaging, but you feel that need to tune in and to begin your own evolution to better all of humanity, that's what I'm here for. That's what the Heart Center is about. I know what it feels like to read this and then read that and then see that they don't align, then still feel confused and at a loss. I know what it feels like to be raised in a religion that is corrupt and inherently harmful to the mind and to the soul. I know what it feels like to meet a spiritual teacher and then have them be just as egotistical as the religious leader. So I've been through enough to know that I am here to offer these services to you. I'm here to offer my own wisdom and my own insights, only to help you bridge the gap between who you truly are and who you think you are. So again, this has been Chris Burns from the Heart Center, and some of the services I offer are thought pattern transformation, intuitive guidance, inner clarity, all things designed to help you get back to your center. You can find me on Instagram, Chris Burns 1025, My website is www.theheartcenter.space, and then I'm also on Facebook. If you feel like it, send me a quick email at theheartcenter11@gmail.com. And I would love to start working with you to declutter your mind, purify your internal awareness, and help you along your life path. Much love. I'll speak with you soon, and keep doing what you do best.